Today, we're diving into a different kind of disaster. Not one of floods or fires, but an invisible threat that's growing every single day: cyber attacks. And we're going to explore how we can all prepare for it.
Okay, so let's jump right in. When you hear the word disaster, your mind probably jumps to things you can see, right? Storms, earthquakes, things with a clear physical impact. But what if the most serious new threat is one you can't see at all? One that works silently in the digital world that pretty much runs our entire lives now.
Now, this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. It's happening right now. In fact, India's National Disaster Management Authority, the NDMA, is officially expanding its definition of disaster. They're now including massive man-made cyber attacks right alongside natural calamities.
For the longest time, the NDMA was all about what you'd expect: landslides, flooding, all that stuff. But take a look at that last point. The rulebook is officially changing to include cyber attacks. This is a huge shift in how we think about national security and what it means to be prepared.
And the stakes here are just incredibly high. We're not just talking about someone's email getting hacked. Think about it. We're talking about the potential for hackers to go after a nation's most vital systems. Our entire physical world, our power, our water, our transport, it all depends on a secure cyberspace. If that space is vulnerable, well, so are we.
So to really get a handle on just how urgent this is, we've got to look at how fast and how widespread these cybercrimes have become. And frankly, the numbers are staggering.
Get this. According to global analysts, a successful cyber hack can take less than a single minute, 60 seconds. That is the tiny window of vulnerability that our defense systems are constantly up against, 24/7.
And this right here shows you just how fast these specific threats are evolving. Take phishing. That's basically voice phishing, where scammers try to trick you over a phone call. It is exploding, growing at a crazy 450% year on year. This shows it's not just super sophisticated hackers, it's attacks targeting regular people.
And here's the thing. It's not always an attack from the outside. Sometimes the threat comes from inside the house. So-called insider attacks, or even just simple employee negligence, are growing at an alarming rate of 52% a year.
So, how in the world does a nation fight an invisible disaster? You can't just send in the fire department, right? Well, India's answer starts with building a human firewall through education and awareness all across the country.
The government's big strategy is called the ISEA program. That stands for Information Security, Education, and Awareness. It's a huge, long-term project designed to build a cyber-resilient nation from the ground up, starting with its own people.
And you know, this isn't some new, rushed plan. The ICOE program has been carefully growing for almost 2 decades. It started out by training the trainers, then it expanded to government officials, and now it's in its 3rd phase, aiming to reach every single citizen.
But look, a national plan is one thing. For it to actually work, it has to move from being a policy paper in a government office to a real, tangible lesson for everyday folks. And that's exactly what ISE is trying to do.
So the core mission here is to get everyone aware. We're talking about educating everybody, from students and teachers to doctors and school administrators, about the real threats they face every day, what they can do to prevent them, and who to call when something goes wrong.
And the scale of this whole effort is really impressive. Just through their workshops, the program has directly trained over 5,000 people and reached more than 10,000 in total. This isn't just theory. This is practical, on-the-ground training for people on the front lines of this digital battle. When you boil it all down, this entire national strategy starts and ends with you, with me, with individual awareness. The government can give us the tools, but we are the ones who actually have to use them.
So you can think of this as your personal cybersecurity toolkit. On the left, you've got the principles to remember. Things like zero-day attacks, which are threats so new that no one has a defense for them yet. And then there's zero trust, which basically means don't automatically trust anything. Always verify, always validate, and limit access. Then on the right, you've got the actual practices. Always be prepared, know how to spot a threat, and have a plan to respond.
And all of this brings us to one final, really important question. In a world where a disaster can happen in less than 60 seconds on a device you're holding in your hand, who is the real first responder? It's not some government agency. It's not a tech company. The front line of defense is you.